and let's get
This meeting
coaching.
is being recorded.
This is so abrupt. I love it. So let's jump in.
Let's just jump right in. What is going on for you, my dear? Give us a
Um,
win.
let's see here. Oh, a win is that I did a lot more activities in the direct messenger. So I reached
Oh,
out to people like I just been on fire in the direct messenger, like going wild and going to a lot of networking groups, like virtual networking
mm,
groups. And so I've been talking to a lot of new people in that way that I haven't spoke to before. So I would say that is my win. And it's like a good thing because a lot of people are getting back to me and I haven't caught up with all the people
that
getting
is
back
the
to me.
best. That's the best place for you to be in. It really is. What would you want some coaching on today?
I don't think I have a particular felt difficulty, but we can play around
Okay.
here and see if something comes up.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this last night. I usually try to come with something that I'm thinking about. My goal is to, okay, I got the one consult still on the books for this week. I'm a
Okay.
little rusty around consultations because I haven't done them in a while.
Yeah.
So that might be my biggest felt difficulty, but we have a lot of resources in the marketing systems that I can use to help me refresh on the
Well, let me refresh on
consultation.
here. Let me do it with you. Okay.
Okay, that would be fun.
Yeah, I
So.
think that would be helpful. Okay. So within the way I typically start out a consult is I say, hey, thank you so much for coming. And then I say, here's how it's going to go. We're not going to talk, like, I think a lot of times people are like, tell me where you're at with everything.
Mhm.
Don't want them to do that. You want to get really specific questions about where they're at and where they want to go in specific facets. So for you, your pillars are elite networking.
Prestige positioning and strategic planning.
Okay. Strategic planning. And this is an advanced sales skill, so feel free to like take it or leave it. But what I would do is I would ask them, hey, what are your goals related to this? What are your goals related to elite networking, prestige positioning, and strategic planning? Okay. Now, for you, what I would do is I would just ask them, like, what does your network look like? What is your marketing looking like? And would you define prestigious positioning?
To me, that means making sure is basically along the lines of kind of to use language we're familiar with, the who before the how, like how are you helping people, like I
Their
guess
offer?
your story, like what makes you unique in the market. So, what
Okay.
is your particular like narrative around your work and how are you standing out in the market? Like, what unique qualities do you bring? Kind of harnessing your strengths. So, what are you bringing and what is your messaging like and things like that. So, when I think about
Did you do week three
positioning,
of, oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
like the who are you, like what makes you unique in your particular area of expertise, like what are you bringing that's novel or things like that, and how where are you putting it at, like where you're strategically placing it at, like are you what kind of social media are you doing, like what are you saying, what is your messaging, where are you, that kind of goes to networking, like how are you positioning
Yeah,
yourself in the networking, like what networking groups are you going to, how are you talking about your work.
that I like. I think that's very clear. I think planning is really clear. I think this is the pillar that needs a little bit of work. And I think that just by knowing how to share your story, I don't think that that is immediately like what I think is a deal breaker for somebody who wants to make money.
Okay, okay. Because that's one thing that
You know what I
I've been
mean?
told before. Like, I talked about like how I've reinvented myself several times throughout my career, and somebody was like, okay, well, you're good at reinvention. That's called like positioning And I mean, but I see what you're saying. I would love to hear your thoughts around this.
Because I'm like, that is good, but I don't think I'm gonna make, well, I want to make this one about your offer.
That would be great because I heard in a networking group that I went to, somebody said in the group that they spent a whole year redoing their positioning. So I was like, well, they didn't say what that
They don't know
meant.
what
I
that
didn't
is.
ask, but they I guess they held a particular position in their marketplace and then they wanted to redo that. But I didn't.
Well, what does that even mean?
Right,
I'm
exactly.
like, so it's like, I feel like that is a waste of time. Not that,
Yeah.
like to be unkind, but I'm like, if I'm thinking about, I have limited funds and resources to invest in my business, I want it to come out strong and I want to get more sales. Like, that's the thing is like, with people who are hiring you as their business coach, they want to make more money.
Yes.
Like, simple. You know what I mean? And the reason that they're not making money is because and I agree that like there could be like something off. Like that's what we fixed with you is like there was something off with your the way you were framing yourself as a brand coach versus a business coach. I think that business coach is way stronger. But I think that related to their offer, like that's where the positioning could be off. And but I think that like people directly understand that my offer will make me money.
Yeah.
I think it's a better angle for you.
I wonder too, like another way, and this is really good practice that is around clarifying what I mean by positioning. So this is
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
highly valuable conversation. I also thought
Good.
about it for in terms of quote unquote launching something. So the interior
Yeah.
designer you and I talked about a lot, she was doing like every day kind of like one-off projects and she wanted to do like full scale like luxury products but she hadn't gotten into that market yet,
But it
so
was her offer
it
that,
was her offer, it was
you
her
know,
offer, yeah.
I think that that's a stronger selling point for you.
Okay.
And I think that like the prestigious positioning is the offer. And I would talk to them on this consult and I would be like, okay, great. First and foremost, I want to hear your goals. What did you make in 2025? And what do you want to make in 2030 or 35? Jesus. What do you want to make in 2026? So it's like, what was your result of 2025? What do you want to make in 2026? Then we say, okay, so then tell me about your offer. Where do you want your offer to be 6 months from now? That's going to be June of 2026. What do you want your offering to look like? Tell me, and then they'll tell you all the problems about where their offer is, where they want their offer to be 6 months from now. And then you say, okay, excellent. I can help you with the prestigious positioning protocol that I teach my clients, which teaches them not only how to sell an offer that people want to buy, but also to create you as the leader in that segment of the industry. That's what I do. Okay, great. So does that make sense for you? Okay, because currently, and like you can just like brainstorm, what is the person that you're meeting with? Are they an interior designer?
No, she is a brand new coach who is doing free coaching now. She's not profitable. So just a
Okay.
quick background, she
Yeah.
had been following me for a long time and we had conversations about random stuff in the DMs for like at least a year. And then
Crazy.
she said that she was doing free coaching and I was like, well, I can show you what I've done to create like my first like become profitable. And she was like, I'm glad you mentioned that. So that's how the consult came about.
Okay, so
She is
did you
brand new.
ask, did you tell her that it's a consult?
I did. I said I can tell you over a consultation what's worked for me, and how I do that is through a consultation. Like I could tell you what the things I've done that's worked for me, and how I do that is via a consultation with you. Like that, I didn't even ask
Okay.
that. She said that's what
I
I'll do.
wouldn't, okay, in the future, I wouldn't frame it as like that, but that's okay. I would say like I would love to help you get profitable. And like this is actually something I do with people is I think about what are their unique strengths and subsets. And so on the consult call, I would start by being like, hey, so for me, what I found is that in order to be a successful business coach, I really had to create an offer that was really like helpful for a group of people. I really started working with a lot of interior designers initially because they really didn't know how to run their businesses. So what I did is I created an offer that was related to coaching for them. Then you built a network and I learned how to network within Facebook groups and last but not least, I strategically planned my time so that I would go to different things that would get me in front of the group of people. And so what let's do on this consult is like those are the three things I did is I created a strong offer with prestige positioning. I learned how to network at an elite level, and I created strategic planning. These are the three things I help my clients with as well. So for you, I would love to use this time, not just as like me just telling you what I did. Let's think about you. I want to know what you are an expert with. I want to help you figure out like an offer, maybe even brainstorming places for your network and like planning out 2026 so that you actually do become profitable. So you said that you're coaching for free. Tell me about like what do you want to do as your paid offer? But do you see how I'm like taking the like because we just don't want her to feel like it's a bait and switch. It's almost like you offered her a strategy session, but you were trying to sell a console. You don't want to do that in the future, which you now know, which is great. But in the future, you don't want to be like, hey, let me tell you what I did. Book a consult. Let me ask you what you want to do. Because she doesn't know.
Okay, yeah, because
You
what
see
we
what I
talked
mean?
about here is technically what I did. That is what I did.
I
But I
know.
like how from the beginning, because she might think that I see what you mean. She might be under the impression that I'm gonna do most of the talking and it's just gonna be me talking. But really it's about her talking. And I still could tell her. Like it's still
Yeah.
like the consult is not until Friday. I can still tell her, hey,
Don't, nope, no, no.
leave it alone.
Leave it
Okay.
alone. Let it
Leave it
go.
alone.
But I would say that like I would just start it off by like almost thinking about it like a strategy session for her. And so like I would be like, this is I'm not gonna do a typical consult call with you. I'm gonna kind of like talk you through what I did as a strategy. And then just like I do think that like just going over these things will be helpful. But of course, like if you do, or if you're like, okay, I do need help with this, of course we could always work together at the end. But let me go through this.
Okay, okay.
Do you see
So,
how it's not
yeah,
like
so it would
a
be a little different than this call on
yeah,
Friday because of how I brought it up will be a little different than maybe how I want to definitely do consults in the future. Like in
yeah.
the future, really make it like when I talk about the consultation, really let them know that this is about them and we're going to run through their business. It's not going to be, I want them to know, like, I don't know. I think this conversation maybe is getting a little too um off topic. You'll help me redirect, but I really want them to know that the things that I'm running them through on the consultation are things that work. They're research backed. I've done them myself several times.
Mm.
So is this something that I'm just talking about like in my marketing then rather than like one-to-one conversations? Like, what do you think? Like, I want them to know that this call is a consultation that's rooted in best practices.
I would just say that. I don't think
Okay.
it needs to be like, but in your war post of the week, that's where I would talk about like, why is having a strong offer and prestigious positioning one of the most research-backed reasons that this is one of the biggest things that's holding your business back. And I actually just got off the scaling call with Amy and like all the other people in the mastermind, and we were talking about having a 5K problem that people would want to pay to solve.
Yeah.
And like it's like a bad offer is a 5K problem. A lackluster, not growing network is a 5K problem. Not knowing how to plan your time is a 5K problem. But I want you to think about instead of being like, okay, like these are just research-based things, I want you to be like, here's how Kellogg, when I worked with them, here's how they grew to like from 20 to 30% profit. Something like that. Like, but going through, that's where we want to bring in the research. It'd be like they more made more money because they worked with me. Like that's the angle that it's like, okay, if you want to make more money, let's work together. I can help you make more money. That's what we want to frame the consult as. The consult is your time where you're going to figure out the next 6 months where your business is at now, and we're going to reflect on it, where you need it to be by June of 2026. And I would share exactly the strategy I would do to get you there.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. For future calls, I'm going to re-listen to this call, always get coaching again. Like I can always use, like I can
Yeah.
re-listen, then use these strategies to set it up or get coaching before whatnot. So, but for this call, I'm wondering if I should run it as like a 20-minute strategy session and then ask her like set up a separate call for a consult because as you know, my background is I'm used to running hour consultations.
Yeah,
If I
yeah, we
run
want to
it
do an
as a
hour.
strategy session for 20 minutes and then an hour consultation, that's like 90
No,
minutes.
no, no.
That's
So
too long.
what I would do is I want to run it like a consultation, just reframe it with like the first 5 minutes where you
Okay.
say, okay, so this is like oh, hold on just 1 second. Let me just, there's someone at the door. Give me just 1 second.
Yep.
But
Take it
I'm
down.
coming right back. I will tell you. Give me 1 second. So sorry, we do a food delivery service and I forgot to leave out my cooler. That's my favorite system. It's literally like the greatest thing ever. Okay, so what we want to do is I would say for here, what you want to think about is like, hey, okay, so this is a call where I typically what I do with my consult calls is I think about where you are now, where you want to be, and then I give you my strategy. But I know I told you I'm going to tell you things that worked first. So I'm going to give you what the three-step process that I do first. This is what I did. This is what could be helpful for you. And I first created a strong offer, I created a large network and planned strategically for it. And so for you, what you want to do is you want to be thinking for her, like this strategy session, just take like 5 minutes and say that. Get it, like, you know what I mean? Like, just be like, hey, here's what I did. This could be helpful for you. Then ask her where like, it's like, okay, so I know that you said you've been coaching for free. Have you thought about what you want your offer to be? And she'll be like, no. And you'll be like, okay, that's really important. We do want to think about what your offer should be. So what I would, in like, how much money do you want to make with your offer by like, let's say June of 2026? And then she'll say, okay, I want to make like 5K. And you say, okay, great. So based on that, we would do what I call prestigious positioning. And for you to make 5K over the next 6 months, what I would recommend is taking at least a month to make an offer that you feel like is a no-brainer that people want to pay for. Typically, what I recommend to one-on-one clients, or what I typically recommend to people who are starting a business, especially a coaching business, is they start by one-on-one coaching. So what I would recommend, and if you ever wanted my help, what I would do is I would create a one-on-one offer and I would think about positioning yourself in an area that you've already had expertise. So for you, it's like if you were a mom, maybe speaking to moms. If you were a leader in corporate, maybe positioning yourself as a career coach. And then using that past experience to give you kind of a pedestal in in the offer. It doesn't need to be a niche, but it just needs to create trust. That's the goal of prestigious positioning is like you want people to know, like, and trust you. So that's what we would do first. And that's what I would recommend for you at any event. But if you wanted my help, I would help you make a really strong offer and position yourself in a prestigious way. Do you have any questions about that? And she'll be like, no, that makes sense. And say, okay, great. And she might be like, okay, what should I charge? What should I, what should the timeline be? And I would be like, those are some really good questions. So, of course, like, there's like industry things that like a lot of times people say like 6 months, $100 a session, but it really depends on what your market would be. So let's say you want to work with Like it's like if you're a career coach, doing that might want to go, if you want to work with executives, you might have a higher price point, smaller time frame. If you want to work with new moms, it might be a longer time frame, lower price point. So just based on that, that's what I would do is you would need to think about, okay, what is a problem that people want to pay to solve right now? What are people actively like for me as a business coach? I know I can help people make more money with their businesses. That's why I started my business. So I knew that that was something that people were paying to solve. Even if they were starting out, that's what I did. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." Okay, then you say, okay, great. Now the next thing is the two pieces that we want to be thinking about is how to nurture your current network and how to grow a new network. So tell me about your network. Do you have a network of people that would potentially buy from you? Do you need to be, or do you need to create a new network? Let's just say I have nobody in my network. It's like I have no idea. That's why I've been doing the free coaching. And you say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's how most people start. Okay. Where do you want to be 6 months from now with your network? It's like, well, I want to have at least a place where I can go to find clients. You say, okay, that totally makes sense. What I would do for you is what I did for myself, which is called elite networking. So instead of just, if I had a slam dunk offer, like my business coaching for a luxurious, oh man, what's it called? Luxury. What is it, Jemay? What's your business?
Oh, for is it interior designers? Is that what you're thinking? Like
Do you have
luxury offers?
the name of your
Oh,
business?
leading lavishly.
Leading lavishly. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like, so for instance, for leading lavishly, I knew that I needed to focus on people who wanted a lavish business, that they wanted to lead their industry, they wanted to make more money in a very like luxurious way. So that's my positioning. And then I choose to only network with people who want to really grow, if they're like serious about like actually making money with their business, that they want to have a lavish amount of funds. That's why I position my offer that way, and that's who I do networking with. So that's what I would do if I were you, is I would find a community of people that are a good fit for whatever that offer is. And then I would continue to create opportunities within that network. Now, you're just going to need to find it's like if you're just starting a business, you don't want to start a business for a group of people that you're like, I have no idea where they are. You want to start a group of people that like you're like, they are already meeting and going to these networking groups. I am solving a problem that they are willing to pay to solve. And we want to focus on that, you know? So that's what I would do for you is I would be like, okay, this is how we want to focus on your network. And then for strategic planning, then you're like, okay, we would need to make sure because it sounds like you are in a job currently. So we have to make sure that like what I would do if I were you is I would make sure that you're playing your time wisely. So how do you feel about our cat? I can't even. What a journey. I'm so sorry. They are on another level this morning. I can't. And like, this is like a stay away spray. Don't mind me. Everything is fine. Oh my God, this is a chaotic coaching call. Like the door, the cat. I'm like, hey, can we tell that it's a holiday week or is it a holiday week? I can't.
It is.
I opened the door to let them in, and then I was like the cats and the dogs, and everyone's just like doing their own thing. But within this, with strategic planning, I think that it could be a thing that you could speak with her about and be like, "Do you know how to use your time? If not, we should probably figure that out. Let's go with from here." You
Okay.
see how like, but we're framing it as like this is a strategy session for you, where I'm telling you what I did, but you do need a plan for these things. Now,
Oh
if
yeah.
you do want help with this, I do meet with my clients once a week and we could figure out a plan for you. Would that be something that you want me to talk to you about? I do think you'd be a good fit for leading lavishly.
Okay. So how about if I just take you and call you and put you on a
Just like
prompt?
have me do this sales call. I
Like,
got
okay,
you.
now listen to Megan. She's gonna tell you.
Just practice it. Just practice it
I
because I
will.
really do
Yeah,
think that
I
you
will
know this
practice.
stuff so well. You're a
Yeah,
professor. You
yeah,
literally speak about these things. You have worked with companies like Kellogg.
yeah.
Like you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I think that for you, it's just coming up with a way that you're, because it was kind of like, I want to meet with you under the pretext of a strategy session. So that's the only thing that's going to be a little funky to navigate. But in the
Okay.
future, I just would be like, everybody wants to book a call with me. I'm
Okay.
literally a professor. You want the best. You want leading lavishly is about taking industry leading, research-based tools and applying it to solopreneurs and small businesses to
Yes.
help them thrive.
Yep.
But
Yep.
did you see the difference of like,
Yeah.
even in the past month, how much your business has changed?
Yeah.
That's what people want to hear.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I can do this. Sometimes I get in my own way. Like I feel like I speak about things at like the organizational level more so than the everyday level. But I think
Yes.
that, just put it in everyday language. Like, I mean, two people make an organization, so it doesn't have to be crazy. So,
Mhm.
okay.
And I would just say, like, leading lavishly is all about taking research-based tools and creating, what's it called? Research-based tools and like, um, that to help small businesses and like to help solopreneurs and small business grow. But I love that. I think that'll be really
Okay.
good.
Okay.
So good. Okay, awesome.
Thanks.
Of course, Amy, go ahead. Give us a win if you can. I know that Amy had just moved yesterday, did a cross-country move. So I'm like, Amy, let me know if this is still a good time. If it's not, that's
Hey,
okay.
I'm sorry. So I actually just had a dermatology procedure, so I'm not going to come on camera.
No
But if
worries.
it's
Oh my
okay,
God. Okay,
go.
great. I'm glad the procedure went well.
Yeah. Okay. So I we've talked about this before, but if you can walk me through, please, a little bit again, or refresh my memory. I want to market a webinar that I plan to do like mid next week.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
going to do it a
amazing.
few weeks ago and I put it on hold. So we're going to jump back into it. And I actually don't even have a super specifically planned topic.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, I've got plenty of ideas to work from. It's just choosing one. And I'd like to make it relevant to this season. I'm stepping into 2026, right? So
Yeah.
you know what? Actually, I do know what I want it to be. Beyond the vision board. So not just vision boarding,
Okay.
but like who do you have to become, right? This reinvention blueprint is my program.
Yep.
So yes, we can create the vision board and it's beautiful, but let's take action toward it. So I
Okay.
think that will be the webinar.
So I'm on your content calendar and I'll put that in the chat if you need it.
Okay. Thank
Um,
you.
so what I am in November, I'm going to take this empowerment story and I'm going to delete this literally just because I'm going to move it to week 1 of um December. Hold on. I'm just going to like move these things around. Okay. So, and then we'll have the first be why I'm in all in, hold on, stress purpose. And it's the first, and you're going to do this webinar on December 1st?
No, let's call it I don't know. So have you found like timing wise, day of the week or weekend or time of day, what have you found to be super beneficial?
Whatever is easiest for you. Let me be
Okay.
super clear. So if you are like Mondays are not, what I typically do is Monday nights. I'm probably going to switch it to Monday, like midday, just because that works better for me. Like I'm
Mhm.
sharper during my lunch hour, and I've been testing it on Fridays at like to a cold audience. But within yours, I would say what time of day works best for you. And I would just choose something that's like if there is a time that's slightly consistent, something that's slightly consistent. If there isn't, that's okay too.
Okay, so I've never done a midday one. I would like to try that.
Okay,
So
that is
let's do like
perfect.
Wednesday. No, let's make it Thursday, the whatever that is, 4th maybe, December 4th.
Thursday the 4th.
Is that
Okay,
right?
got it.
Okay,
Okay. So
let's do a
that's just
noon
a
Eastern.
little, typically I do it towards the beginning of the week, but if you
Ah,
can't, then
okay.
the end of the week is fine, just because the whole marketing of the whole week is selling the program. So that's the only thing that I would recommend. But if you can't do any day but Thursday, that's fine too.
Let's go to the following Monday. What would that
That's
be, the 8th?
8th. Yes,
Okay.
I love it. Okay, so and then that still keeps the content similar. Okay, so I'm in November and then December. Okay, so this week you are talking all about, oh shoot, the empowerment story about finances and how to rewrite your story.
That's what we had planned, Megan, but I
That's
have
what we
not.
planned. That's
I
okay.
actually
No,
haven't posted in 2 days. I'm currently kind of sort of living out of my car in my partner's spare bedroom. So,
oh my God. Okay, can I help you write your posts for you for this whole week?
yes, let's do
Amazing.
it.
Great. Let me
Forget the
just
webinar.
like
I
do
can
it
come
for you.
back to that.
That's why I'm like, just come on these calls and I will help you do everything. Okay, so don't even worry about it. It's Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know if you celebrate Thanksgiving, but like, I've got you. Let me just do all of your marketing for you. Okay. So, what I'm using, and just so you know, this is what the mastermind gets. This is just for people, but like, I'm going to put this in your cold, your warm, and your hot documents, and I'm literally going to write your post for you for this week. So, don't even worry about it. And I think this empowerment story is a great one. I think that the reframing the vision board is a great idea. And then that means, so this will be the 15th and then the 22nd. And then we have like a bonus week in December. Actually, no, it's kind of like January. I'm just gonna say it's January, right? Not Canva, calendar. It's, I'm gonna say this is kind of like starting January 1st. And no, I'm gonna do it in December. Okay. Sorry, I'm like all over the place, but it'll make sense in a second. Just give me a moment. Okay, this is for December. So this is the 28th or the 29th? 29th. Okay, great. Okay, okay. And then, so I'm just going to delete this week because we already have it listed, I promise. But I'm just moving everything to
Okay.
here. And then why just, okay. And then here we want to promote webinar. Live transition. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just deleting these because you already did this. You talked about, did you already, and it's okay if you didn't, talk about the midlife transition and
No,
moving and then the mom not expecting
I've
kind of,
done none of
you
that. I
didn't,
have been posting, but it's
that's
been
okay.
very,
It's just been
I mean,
different.
I say random. It's not random. It's been pertinent to my program, but I've just been kind of doing it on the fly, honestly.
Well, guess what? Now you have new content for
Beautiful.
later. So I'm just gonna put this and save it. It's like we got
Yeah.
posts, we got 2 weeks of posts that we're gonna use at a
This
different
is
time,
the
which
incredible
is
value of
great.
this marketing systems mastermind.
Yes,
Beyond.
I am so
Beyond.
glad. Just so people can see that like this is what we're doing.
I
We're
say
and we've
this
got the
every
empowerment
time
story.
I am on with you. Like the value is beyond. You could charge
Just because
double.
I
I
think
would
that
pay
it's
double
like
for this mastermind.
I fucking love you. You're
Thank
amazing. Oh,
you.
sorry, freaking love you. Oh, sorry, children. Oh, like I will make this
Listen, no children over
so
here. You're
bad.
good.
I'm bad. Sorry about that. We've got, where's the one that we have here? Empowerment story, empowerment story. Midlife transition. Mom. Okay, wait, hold on. We already have this. We already have this one. Okay, so this is the only one that we haven't used yet, which is perfect because now we have all of our content for all of November. November we've got and December already.
Amazing.
Empowerment story, why you choose to step away, mom. Okay, great. Okay, so this one is going to be, next week, you're going to mo, pro, I couldn't spell words, webinar. And I would make it beyond
Mhm.
the vision board. And okay, if you haven't planned out this webinar,
I'm not. It's in my
I would
head.
do something. I love it. Can we do this in January?
Yeah.
I like it better in January.
Okay.
Just
I feel
because
that.
January, you know what I mean? I feel like that's when people are setting
Yes.
resolutions. I feel like in December, people are like, I don't have my head on. They're like, I'm
You're
freaking
so
out.
right. I feel like you're right.
You know,
I think it would be missed in December.
they're gonna just be like, help. It's like I just need to stay afloat. I think we should do a stress webinar. I think that would be better.
Okay.
And then just for you. So what's a stress related webinar you could do?
I think we talked a little bit about this actually, like um, ma- managing challenging relationships, interactions during the holidays.
I love it.
Yeah.
Challenging. And what are 3 things they would learn? What are 3 things you could teach them at this webinar?
Yep. How to decide ahead of time,
Love it.
and tools for nurturing your nervous system in the moment,
Love it.
and boundaries.
Love it. Oh my God, perfect. And who is somebody you helped? Just the initials.
TP.
Love it. Okay. And then this week, if you haven't done your grid of 3, it's the perfect time to do it. And then you could do you know what I'm talking about when I say grid
Yeah.
of 3
Can you
for everybody?
just give me the?
I want to give
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
a refresh. Okay, excellent. So, and I'm moving from marketing systems. I'm going to go back to scaling systems. And I'm just going to give you my grid of 3 to make it easy. And I'll give this to everybody. So if you coded the notes, I'll put this in here. And I put the notes in the chat, but I'll put them in the notes again. This is from a webinar I did. So I don't feel like it's, or not a webinar, a podcast. But I would do the grid of 3 for you this week. And you can make a carousel about your offer.
Mhm.
Have you ever done that?
So it's interesting that you asked that. So I did one for the first time last week, and I used like a Canva template. I didn't use any pictures. It did not fare well at all. Like a fourth of the views. And whenever I use I hate just constantly using pictures of myself, but that's what
So this is more so to make
I
your
don't know.
Instagram function like a website. It's not necessarily about the views
Oh,
for this bad boy. We just want the first time people come onto your profile to see and what is it? I know your program, it's got the word blueprint.
yep, reinvention blueprint.
Reinvention blueprint. So we want to
Yep.
say join the reinvention blueprint, one-on-one coaching, helping women in midlife create their next best chapter yet.
Yes.
Do I say something like that? You don't have to
Yep.
have the rest of the carousel in here, but I put it in here in case you want it. You can literally use my template. Work smarter, not harder. This is for the week of the 8th, so you've got plenty of time to do that. And then the next one is a video of you talking about the reinvention blueprint and you saying, hey, if you want to join the reinvention blueprint, it's awesome. Here's what you do. Then book a consult. And it's like, here's what happens on your consult. That's what's going to be your 3 pinned posts. And you just leave them up there for this week. I'll help you write this later, but I just wanted to get all of your content done for December. Just so
Okay.
so that's what this will be in this week. And then the purpose, that was the stress story. Okay, we've got purpose, and we'll say sell program. What was the other pillar that confidence, relationship, stress?
Decision
So we
making.
got
Something.
I just need to, I think this one was about the mom not expecting people to behave differently, boundaries and
Ah,
support. I think this was about the
yes.
relationships pillar. Just gonna take this. Oh no. Okay, so now we've got all of your content through the end of the year. So that's done. That's easy. I will help you through this later, but at least we've got a flow. So you were like, how do I
Mhm.
promote this webinar? Let's not worry about
Okay.
that until next week. And I'll help you write a post for that as well, but let's do this
Okay.
week's post first. So this is how easy I make it. I literally am going to go into Claude and it knows nothing about you
Love.
at all. And I'm going to say, hey, Claude, I have a client whose business is called the Reinvention Blueprint, where I'm just going to use too much to type. Hold on. Called the Reinvention Blueprint, where she helps women in midlife transition and create their best next chapter yet. Her pillars are decision making, comma, confidence, comma, stress, comma, and purpose. Period. I need help writing her post for this upcoming week. She needs a cold post, which is just her personal story, sharing about how she overcame something about this topic. Can you write a post for Instagram related to this? Oops. Take this, paste it. And the topic of this week is 15K to move both times. Um, sh um, she just moved across the country, and earlier last year she moved to California, and last week she just moved back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Do you feel
Yeah,
comfortable sharing
absolutely.
that? Okay, well, that's like just um okay, perfect. And I'm gonna leave these here just in case you guys want to see how I talk to my little
Nice.
Claude bots. And let's see what it does.
Are you finding you prefer
What
Claude over chat?
I'm starting to use Claude more than Chat because Claude is a specific AI that's related to copywriting, and then Chat
I did
is
not know
not.
that. Okay.
Today's the 25th. Yeah. And I'm just gonna say this is the 25th, which is today. Usually I do it like Monday, Tuesday, when like or it's like, but we'll just put this here then. 27. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna put these in here. And let's see what it says. Look at this. 30,000 in moving costs within a year. 2 cross-country moves, 1 powerful lesson about trusting yourself. Last year, I made the leap to California. It felt right for the time, new chapter, fresh start. All the things we tell ourselves when we're chasing something we can't quite name yet. Last week, I moved back to Charlotte. And you know what? I'm not, I don't know if I love this angle. I think that like, because you did it, it wasn't a,
It was intended to be a temporary move. I think what I love the scripting that I've used around that I love is that I got what I came for in that season.
wait, hold on.
Amazing
Actually,
transition.
Amy,
Level, yeah.
I'm gonna have you
Yeah.
just use, I'm gonna take your words and use talk to type, and I'm gonna help you edit it
Perfect.
literally with your words. Okay, so just say exactly what you said again.
This was a temporary move for a very defined season of time. And in that, I found because I had decided ahead of time that I absolutely got what I came for. Walking out a completely different person, a newer, stronger, more centered version of me, able to now take my clients into the next transition. I'm now heading back to Charlotte and I'm so excited to Okay, I lost it there.
It was so good. Okay, so it's like I think that this is great. So then I say, "Hey, Claude, this is a great start, but can you reframe it like this?" And then have the call to action. Um, Also, can you make the call to action to book a consult using the link in bio to make this um, and elaborate? Let's see what it does, you know?
Mhm.
So it'll give you, sometimes it'll give you like a miss,
Yeah.
and then you say, nope, but it really, and I do it all over again.
You're giving me something to work
Look
with
at
here.
this.
You're giving my brain the momentum that it needs. I'm not stuck. I'm not freaked out by it.
Yeah.
So that's where this is so helpful.
Like, look. Okay, this is much better. Okay. Right on schedule. Like, it just seems like it's different wording. It might not be your wording. So you just have to tell it, hey,
Yeah.
this is actually my voice tone and style. And one of the things that you can also do is up can also be helpful
Oh,
and like say, hey, you use Fathom and or like any other thing and like say like this is how I coach, you know?
okay.
Um, can you make it like this? Love it. And then, so that's your post for this week. Then we've got to talk about like, and then, so this is the next one. So this is for the cold post prompt. And then here is the warm post prompt.
Okay, so cold post is kind of storytelling. This is who I am, so that you get a
Yeah.
glimpse of. Okay.
Yep. Then this is the warm one is about a tool that you teach.
Oh,
So this is where we go in and we say, hey, this is something I want to teach my clients to do about this time of year. And let me say, here, we'll say, hey, Claude, this looks great! Exclamation mark. Can you go ahead and for the warm post, this is where I typically write a tool or explain a something in the form of a how-to. And this week, I want to give my audience 3 steps to rewrite their story. Currently, at this time of year, it is during the holidays, so they might be feeling stressed about family, children, or hosting. And I want to come up with 3 steps to help them rewrite their story, just like I rewrote my moving story.
so good.
Just like so simple,
Yeah.
right?
But Megan, I feel like this is the key. Just jumping on these calls and letting you, like I just said, like you're removing any overwhelm or like I don't know where to start. It's
Like,
super
here.
convenient.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Like, and literally, if anybody wants me to do this, I actually, Dr. Jemay, I did this for you like a couple weeks ago. Like, we were talking about your grid of 3, 2. And I was like, let's just let me write it for you. Don't don't worry about me. Don't worry about this. And look, it even gave the complimentary consult and link in bio. Done. Okay, so super simple. And I would take out the what's one story you want to rewrite, drop it in the comments because no one will actually do
Okay.
that. No
And
one
then
will
it's just
actually,
awkward, like, oh, look,
you know,
nobody responded.
and it's like nobody commented. It's like, no, don't worry about that. But like just a good starting place. And then look at how it even put boundary. And it even talked about like
It
committing to the story.
is.
It's literally like what we just talked about
Okay,
for the
which
webinar.
makes sense because then people who
So
see it,
fun.
it all ties together. Okay, all right. So
Yes.
my next step then is I create. Tell me what.
The next step is take these and make them into posts.
Okay.
And just either what I like to do is I would keep it simple and do like, and we got off because later didn't coordinate with me well, which is frustrating. But I would do something like picture of you in maybe in front of the moving car.
Okay.
And if you have any pictures of you or like with boxes, anything like that, just
Okay.
take one today, like with all the boxes, or like I don't know if you've got one, but something like that. And then this one, you could have like um 3 steps to not dread Thanksgiving this week.
Okay.
You know,
So that's
and
a
that would
post.
be a Canva card. Uh, I would do these all as static posts. Don't worry about making a reel. Don't, it's a little bit more involved for you,
Okay.
just like static posts.
Yeah.
Just to show up on your feed this week
Yeah.
instead of, you know what I mean? And then the MH. Can you share about MH's journey and just like say like hey Claude, this looks fantastic. Last but not least, I'm going to have my client share about her story with a client named MH, and we're going to use this as a client case study that is going to be used to promote her program, the Reinvention Blueprint, and why people should sign up for a consult, even though it is Thanksgiving week. When I said reinvention. So do you remember MH's story?
You know what? Honestly, I don't offhand. I'm gonna have to come back to that, but you
Okay.
got it there for me as a prompt,
Yep.
so I know
Just
to
come back to
go ahead
it.
and do that.
Just come back to it. And what I'll do is I'll just put this in here, but then you'll paste it. So that's what you're going to do for this
Okay.
week. Do this really quick. This won't take time, a bunch of time. And then that's all for this week. So don't worry about any of this stuff. Just this is what we're going to do. And I know you already did different posts, but I'm just going to delete these rows so that the content creator is promoting the webinar. So the first one is going to be next Monday, which is 12/1. And then I'll say, it's like, and funny enough, it's like next week, cold, warm, hot. The hardest part is like just telling it like a little bit about you. Once you
Yeah,
got that,
I
it
have
makes it
that in
easier.
chat, but I actually Corinne Crabtree, you were there, her workshop last
Yeah,
year. They did a lot. They used
Claude, I think it
okay.
helps a little bit. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, and then
So
what
I
do you
would
do?
say,
Do you do a story?
do
Do
you
you
do a
do
story?
stories?
I would just repost it to your story with the link to book a consult.
Okay.
Here's what we do
Okay.
is we just post it, and usually like without like I like new post. And then I have a bit of my podcast. Don't worry about that. So I would just repost this to your story saying new post. And that's the only thing I would worry about this week. And I would like on Monday, you can like, or today, today's Tuesday, you can just repost the cold post. And then Wednesday, you repost the warm post. Thursday, repost the warm post. Friday, repost the hot post. Saturday, repost the hot post. You
Okay.
know?
So you're saying just use the same one word?
Say that one more time.
When you say repost, I'm
Repost
posting
to your
it.
story.
I actually can't do it. I actually have a page here. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So each time I make a post it to the story as well.
Yep. And then, boom, I'm going to say for this one, for the webinar, I'm going to give you Monday's post too. It's like, can you please write a post about this based on this template for my coach? I'm just going to say, yeah. And then this is going to be the cold post. You can literally take my exact post that I have for the fully booked formula, and then we can take it. We're going to put it in here.
And then is there like a link for them to sign up for the webinar?
You'll have to make that.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll be something that you can work on this week um instead of having the what's it called? Instead of having the brain. Yes, you're going to have to create it, but do you have an email list?
I do. It's tiny, but I do.
Where is it on? What
It's in
platform?
my I use HoneyBook.
Okay, great. So I would just make a form on HoneyBook.
Okay.
Do you know how to do
I
that?
don't think it's super difficult. I haven't done it before, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
So I think I might even have a training like this, but I would make a form literally like this simple. Join the Better Relationships Over the Holidays webinar. Have better relationships this holiday season and get weekly info in your inbox. Look out for an email. I'll also put this as a screenshot in the notes for today. But I would just go through and I would just make this your post of this week. Or not your post. I remember what I was gonna say. Thank you, Brian. With all of the things that you have going on, just literally, it's in the cold, warm, and hot documents. Post these, but I would spend all of your time and energy on what's it called, making that form. Because it's probably going to be challenging the first time you make it. And then after you make a form, screenshots.
So what I did before actually is I did the webinar on Meetup, and so I created the event there in Meetup and shared that link
Do that.
in my posts. Okay, because I know how to do that.
Perfect. Do
Okay.
that. That'll be very, very easy.
All right.
So that's great. Then with the warm post, then you want to say, here are 3 things you'll learn at this webinar. It's like, so great. And you do a warm post about 3 things they will learn. And I'm going to copy, oh, we already did. We copied and pasted that in. I love it. Okay, easy.
Okay. I
Done.
have another meeting. I have to hop out.
Excellent.
Incredibly helpful. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad. And if you guys have any questions, I don't use Gemini. Good question. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on our call next week. All right, bye everybody.